Hi, it's Tara Scott from Revitalize. So in the last 3 weeks I've been in 3 different continents, and I've had an opportunity to kind of make some observations about their health habits. So I started in Australia, and Australian doctors claim that they have the same problems we do in the US with obesity, and that there's an increasing risk of diabetes there. I noticed that their diet was largely meat, namely beef, although it was grass-fed. And they also have a large Aboriginal population that their genetics actually increases the statistics for diabetes. Then I went to New Zealand. They also eat a lot of red meat, but they eat a lot of lamb, again, purely grass-fed, not a lot of vegetables. Same issue with the Maori people, with indigenous, and increasing the statistics of diabetes. But what I noticed about those 2 countries is they always have their tea time. And they seem shocked that in the US we don't take a break for tea. Then I went to Malaysia and taught the doctors there, and the diet was a little bit better, but Malaysia had the lowest life expectancy out of the areas that I visited. And being a largely Muslim nation, they did take breaks to pray, and their diet was largely carb-based with a lot of rice. It started out with a lot of fish, a lot of vegetables. There were some doctors from Singapore at the conference who told me that the diet has really increased in the Malaysian people, and they have more and more carbs in their diet, and that's why the incidence of diabetes is increasing, mostly because of Western influences. And then I finished my trip here in Amsterdam. And I've really been looking at these people in Amsterdam. It seems like a lot of them smoke, although when I Googled the statistics, it wasn't that high. And it just smells like pot everywhere. Although I Googled those statistics too. The highest pot use is actually in Australia and New Zealand, 22%, 12% in the US, and only 2.5% here in Amsterdam. I think because most of the people smoking are actually foreigners. Their diet is largely potatoes 6 days a week, and not a lot of green vegetables, not a lot of raw vegetables, and meat. So I was shocked to find out that they don't have an increased risk of diabetes over the other places that I've been, and that they nor heart disease. So after being in all these different places, the conclusion I came up with is this. In New Zealand and Australia, they take a tea break. In Malaysia, they take prayer breaks. And in Amsterdam, everyone's drinking beer and really relaxed. So I think the problem is cortisol. And I think in the US, we're so busy, we're so stressed. And for me, I know on this trip, I've ran less. My diet hasn't changed that much, although it might be a little bit worse. And I have slept more. So my cortisol is a little bit lower, except for the time travel, the time change. And for me, I have lost a little bit of weight. So I think the underlying biggest risk factor is not the smoking, not the diet, but the cortisol. So think about that.